To the other juicy game, Grizzlies minus 140, Lakers plus 115. Are you tired of hearing from Dylan Brooks yet?
Actually, I'm tired of hearing about Ja Morant in some type of legal situation. These guys are like, okay, look, if you want to sue a teenager, that's up to you. But you do have a playoff game against one of the most historic franchises in the league. You're the number 2 seed, and the way you guys are going about how you're carrying your business, it's almost kind of like you think you're about to play a game of shirts and skins. It's a little more serious than this, guys. And with no Steven Adams and with Anthony Davis waking up, you're like, whoa, who stops Anthony Davis? I think you're going to see a little bit slower LeBron James. That's okay, because a slower LeBron James is still better than 70% of the league, maybe 80% of the league. So the question will be is, what do you get out of Austin Reeves? What do you get out of D'Angelo Russell? So if those guys show up, D'Angelo Russell can kind of tighten things up, and Reeves can show himself to be a quality third option. Memphis is in trouble. They're in trouble.
Oh, there's no question. And, you brought it up. When you look at Memphis, one of the things that was very undervalued because everybody looked at all the other pieces was Steven Adams. You may not get a ton offensively from him, but he's going to be there defensively. Boards are around. He, the hard fouls, all the things that he's going to do to kind of and protect his players while he's out there. So then they make the move to bring Kenny Lofton Jr. up from the G League. But let's be honest, Jaren Jackson Jr. is amazing, but he's always in foul trouble. And then you start looking at some of the other guys, they're not defensive players. I like Xavier Tillman's hustle, but that's not going to matter when you go up against AD. And if the offense is going to run through AD, which I think it will, I think I have to lean Lakers here in the series. And I can't believe I'm saying that after how I watched them play earlier in the year. Those trades they made really did make their team better, where we were all going, what could they possibly do to make this team better? And they did. They ended up somehow, some way making this work. And I got to be honest, they're one of the teams that I think you'd have to put in the mix that could get to the finals.
Yeah, it's amazing to think about how in the mud the Lakers were. You almost forget that Russell Westbrook was on this team this same season, right? But Austin Reeves has done what so many other players have been asked to do when LeBron goes out. He's the guy that stepped up. And when LeBron's come back, he hasn't disappeared. So that's something that LeBron really hasn't had an exposure to when he's had injuries in the past, where other people have had to pick up the slack. It usually hasn't happened. It's why Anthony Davis got all that noise. It's why Russell Westbrook gets traded. But now you're like, well, wait a minute. The discipline or lack thereof of Memphis, and of course with them being the home team, this Laker team is like, we have no problem with you taking a loss at home, thus really preventing you from going out after the game. So and think about it, Ja Morant really can't go out after the away games. I mean, you're in L.A. It's one thing to be in Denver and be like, no way, thank you, Mr. Morant, for coming to my establishment. But in L.A., hello, the cameras are already there. Oh, man, Memphis is gone not only probably from a basketball standpoint, but I would even fade them from just having fun. They're going to be sitting around talking about, how come I can't go outside? You're in L.A.
Yeah.